crew? This is a continuation of what I was doing before. You might have seen me doing the Boomba bypass valve and the GrimmSpeed boost controller. So to go along with that, since I'm already down there, we got something else to install. Let's see what we got. Some headers. Now, these are budget headers from a company very well known, CNT Racing. That doesn't sound right. Okay, so a couple of years back, I got some, actually intercooler from these guys. It is quite a bit beefier than the stock intercooler, and the tuner actually confirmed to me when he was tuning the first time 2 years ago that it was 30 degrees cooler than the stock intercooler, so that was pretty cool. I don't think they even make this one anymore. I haven't been able to find anyone else selling it. They are making this header. I actually got this from MA Performance. They're pretty reputable. That's a hard word. So rather than the $900,000 for Perrin or some of the other ones, this one was less than half that, and I even got it on sale as well. Build quality, I think it's going to be okay. Now, there are some gapping here, but I don't think that's going to matter because it does have some very nice welds on the top. That's not going anywhere. The primary flange is a little rough. I'm going to sand that up. Again, build quality, I don't know, it's not completely round. So maybe I make bad mistakes so you don't have to. What else we got in here? I ordered some extra gaskets so that goes on these ends. They told me it didn't come with any gaskets, so I ordered extra, but guess what? It came with gaskets, but I'm going to go with the GrimmSpeed on the manifold. And I got a OEM Subaru where it connects to the turbo. So, did I trigger some people? Can't buy cheap headers. Well, it's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. We got a tune coming up soon. The problem is that I have to get all my parts on before I can get my pre-inspection, and I have to get my pre-inspection before I can schedule a tune. So I don't blame them because they are there to tune your car, not to fix your car. So we're going to be doing that. Still waiting for the ETS front mount intercooler to show up. And we'll get all those things put together. Then we'll be on our way to getting this thing tuned. Let's see how it goes. Okay, we already have the turbo inlet assembly off. I got the turbo covered up so nothing gets in there. First of all, let's take off the charge pipe. Normally you'd have two 12mm bolts. This Perrin charge pipe has a 6mm Allen key, which is kind of more of a pain in the butt, but let's get that off. Okay, I'm on the passenger side. That's the front of the car, so you get oriented. There's this oil line. You'll need two 17s open-ended to loosen that up. Then I believe that's the oil drain. Then we have this other one, which is coolant. So we're going to pinch this one off. Then we'll get a drain pan underneath of it and get those two off. We got this unscrewed off here. Then I got some pipe clamps there, some hose pinchers, and we'll get the drain pan ready for the coolant and the oil. All right, so the coolant line is crimped right there, or pinched off. Correction. So we just got the oil off and drained it into the pan. So this guy doesn't disconnect from here. It's going to connect from the turbo side, but we also want to crimp off or pinch off this coolant line. So it's in the back. So this is oil and this is coolant. So we're going to pinch the coolant back here so it doesn't keep draining through while we remove this one down here. Okay, so next up we got these two lines. See, this first one's disconnected. Now I was a little confused by this clamp right there. There didn't seem a way to loosen it. You can actually just wiggle it off of that stem there. Then the other one is the coolant line. I switched to a smaller vice grip to pinch that off, then we'll get that one off as well. For that coolant line I just took off, I brought it up here to get a little gravity assist so it wouldn't leak out too much more coolant. Little pro tip. Now time to disconnect the J-pipe. Now I was really worried about this because when first time I replaced this guy, removing the factory J-pipe, that thing was a beast. I had stripped nuts like crazy. I ended up having to weld a nut to another nut just to get one off because it was stripped so bad. So as a precaution, last night I sprayed it with PB Blaster to let it soak overnight. And I started loosening and not too bad this morning. So disconnect your O2 sensor. I'm going to unscrew that so I can get to these bolts up here. Okay, I got the 4 J-pipe bolts out. There's one there. Now the stud actually did come out on this one, but that's fine. I ordered some extra. For removing the O2 sensor, that's a 22 millimeter open end wrench. So got the nuts off those two. Then you have the bracket up here. Got one we got to remove there. And this bolt is coming down, holding in the bracket on that side. I might get to it from up top. So this J-pipe mounting bracket, I'm going to get to it from the top just with a long extension. It's pretty easy from this direction. Trying to remove the J-pipe here. This bracket is kind of being a pain in the ass. So I'm going to see if I can get more movement by disconnecting the cap portion here. Probably going to have to replace this gasket. So let's try that. After I unattached that last section of the J-pipe, it came out pretty easily with that mounting bracket. So time to get to the headers. I just got 3 bolts on each side. 14 millimeter. Do that on both sides. Hell yeah, got it off. Alright, we're gonna take off this heat shield. A couple bolts there, one there. Then, let's see. Then on this side, we'll start by taking off the old heat shield and opening it up so we can get that header off of the turbo. Got the heat shielding off for the headers. Those just wrap around. Those won't be reused. The turbo heat shield goes on the other side of that, will be reused. These are some more of those nasty locking nuts, same as on the J-pipe. So I'm gonna hit them with a little bit more of PB Blaster. Let it soak in for a bit. Hopefully they come off easily. Okay, we got the header taken off of the turbo assembly. So on the new header, I'm kind of going back and forth. So the gasket, the one that actually did come with the CNT, covers its flange very nicely, whereas the Subaru OEM one, see how we have that bezel around it where it's not completely covering the whole flange. So I think I'm actually gonna go with this gasket for here. This new one seems like a lot lighter as well. I know you can't tell on the video, but oh yeah, this was probably more than twice as heavy. Got that new gasket on. We'll get it bolted up. A little messy, but we got it put together. New headers on. Replace that heat shield. So underneath the 4 main bolts where this connects to the turbo, do 31 foot-pounds. So like I was saying, when I was removing the J-pipe, one of the studs just unthreaded itself. So I have an OEM replacement one from Subaru I had from last time I did the J-pipe. There's a part number if you need it. I also had some extras from GrimmSpeed. I think I'm just going to use the Subaru one to kind of match the others. Yes, headers installed. Beautiful. I also have the turbo inlet assembly put back together with the boost controller and the Boomba bypass valve that we did last video. Got a few things left to do. Button up the exhaust and the J-pipe, but hell yeah. I got it all put back together. We got all the exhaust put back together. J-pipe all the way back. Our new pretty headers. I think I got it all together. Should we start it up? Alright, I'm going to check to see if there are any exhaust leaks, any other leaks, but pretty metal so far. Hey guys, we got the header all finished. So I'm just going to keep an eye on those coolant levels and those oil levels. I did put half a quart back in, but it seems to be running pretty good. Did have a little bit of smell. That was to be expected from some of the coolant that leaked and oil that gets on the J-pipe and the exhaust, and that'll burn off here shortly. But I'm super stoked. Got to get it tuned soon. See how much power it makes. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. I'm out.